Boom. Hey! Lee Saunders is in the house, followed by Pandora, Tina G, Susie Brizuela, Karen Purdy from Newton Falls, Ohio, Kathy Murphy, Jennifer Rayner, Natalie Bierman, Phyllis Hatch, Alaska Cindy, Lucy, Tracy M, Julianne Goutier, Synth Fan, Stephanie L from Florida, Jennifer Sawyer, M. Getz, Pasta D, and me, BDD in the Easy, Olivia, Sarah B, RJ, Carol Schneider, that's a new one, Punxsutawney Mo, Stella Baxter, Foxhill Dreams, he's got his I Got the Shot shirt on, the Trump Reaper, Kathleen Cross, Valerie G, hey, Jasmine Lacey, Lua, Cha-Cha is here, Monique, I see you snuck in there, but I see you, Stacy Mendenhall, yeah, welcome to another episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad, and this is a story time. Happy Friday Eve, everyone. It never fails to amaze me how many times, hey, there's Scribble My Dibbles. She snuck in the back door. Cindy C is here and Amanda Crawford. Did I miss anyone? See, Synth Fan is here. Samantha Hawkins. And let's see. Hey! Oh, did I miss the gling, 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 gling? Yes. It never fails to amaze me how many times I have to tell people Friday Eve equals Thursday. It is for those of us who are too impatient to wait for Thursday, for Friday to roll along. One more freaking day. So, hey, what's up? Farrah Renfro is back, and we are going to do our stories of the day. Stories of the day. A ceasefire has been agreed to on both sides in the Gaza conflict. A disturbing video has been unearthed regarding the death by murder of Ronald Greene in Louisiana. When I say shitty governor, do you think Ron DeSantis? We got a whole lot of shitty governors to discuss. There's a new book coming out soon that details some salty language from the former Commander-in-Chief, President Obama. We're going to do something different today. No raggedy bish for today. Instead, we've got a rising star, Tim Ryan. Yeah, I thought I would switch it up a little bit. I know it is never hey, I see a Dave McNeil. That's a new name. Welcome, Dave. There's never a shortage of shitty, raggedy bishes in the house. So I'd like to focus every once in a while on the positive. So, getting started right off the bat on the positive note, I did want to bring to you guys' attention. First of all, I saw Tina G mentioned a little earlier that she got her second shot. Congratulations. And you know what? It's a big deal. It's a big deal for every freaking person. What's up, Gavin Rutherford? Gavin Rutherford is here, as is Lisa Hathaway, who also uses salty language. Um, for each one of us that get a vaccine, get fully vaccinated, it brings the nation closer to the goal of herd immunity. This was where we want to get. This is what we need to achieve in order to get our country back. Remember all those idiots like, we're going to take our country back. Where the hell are all those folks now saying we got to take our country back from the black man? Where are you now? Take your country back from COVID. Duh. So, anyway, getting back to the positive. What's up, Ms. Nick? Getting back to the positive. When wifey and I got our second vaccination shot last Saturday, we really had no adverse reactions to it. And it didn't occur to me until today. It was like, shit, you know what? I need to share that because there's a ton of people out there who, are leery about getting the shot because I don't want those adverse reactions. I don't want to be shitting all day on the, I don't want teeth growing in between my toes. I don't want my ears falling off, all that, no adverse reactions. So it's important to share, no matter how big or small your account is, please, after you've got your second vaccination, even after you've got your first one, share these. If you have no adverse reactions, share that. If you have mild reactions, share that too. Why? Because it takes the mystery away from the experience, and it'll make more people say, "Oh, all right, it's not a big deal. All right, so they had flu-like symptoms, whatever. They had a headache, sore throat, whatever." Help them get on board. And meanwhile, I'm doing my part with the I got the shot t-shirt, which is very cool. It looks great. It feels great. And when I go out to the Costco and I've still got my mask on, we're wearing our masks still. Second shot, still. I don't care. Not until I feel like it's safe to not have to wear it. Whatever. It's my choice, my decision, whatever. But when I go out to the store, people can see the shirt saying I got the shot. They're going to be like, "Hey, nice shirt. Where'd you get that?" Well, you don't get to wear this unless you got the shot. All right. Go get your vaccination. And then go to brooklynDadDefiant.com and get yourself a shot. All right. Now, I saw some comments a little earlier about my appearance on Chip Franklin last night. For those of you who were able to listen in, I thank you for that. I myself was unable to listen in because I was doing the talking and could not listen. So I don't even know where I can find the clip to listen to. But as Jennifer Rayner is bringing up a very good point, let me amplify her words. She's saying, please don't forget, but remember to hit the like button as you are watching. If you're enjoying even the teensiest little bit, if you're enjoying the show, give us a thumbs up, hit that like button. It looks like this. Please do it. It's very nice for you to do it. Thank you. Okay, so Julien Goutier says Apple Podcast. Unfortunately, I don't have Apple or iTunes or any of that stuff, so I'll have to find some way to find it. Anyway, let's jump right on in. Asmila J is here. She's lurking, but she loves us all. She says, "Oh, that's so sweet." Or try KGO Radio for Chip Franklin. Thank you. I will do it. All right, let's jump into our quick hits. Hit 'em! Hit that Summer Beach! Yeah. Boy, if Wonder Woman were to strike Donald Trump, I think his jaw would literally fall off. Literally, like she's basically made of steel. He couldn't handle a punch from her. Nope, he couldn't. All right, quick hits. Haha, salty language. I can't tell you guys how much I despised the pictures that came out from when President Obama invited Trump into the White House, which was already, above and beyond anything that Donald Trump did for President Biden, because Donald Trump is a sore loser. He's a punk ass bitch, whatever. And anyway, punk ass bitch is, actually kind of light compared to the words that President Obama had to say about Trump. Now, he didn't say these publicly because, President Obama is too classy for that. But he, in private, he let Luther, his anger translator, he was channeling. I don't know if you guys ever saw Key and Peele. There was a sketch where one of the guys pretended to be Obama. The other guy was pretending to be Luther, Obama's anger translator. It's funny as hell. Just like YouTube that shit. Luther, anger translator. It's hilarious. Anyway, President Obama's inner Luther cut loose, and these details are found in a book called Battle for the Soul: Inside the Democrats' Campaigns to Defeat Donald Trump. That is a long-ass title. But Battle for the Soul, Inside the Democrats. And that's coming out soon. I believe it might be next week. What's up, Michelle Warmoth? So, in this book, it is revealed that President Obama called Trump a madman. All right, that's okay. A racist, sexist pig. No lies told so far. Here's one. That fucking lunatic. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that fucking lunatic. And the pièce de la résistance, the chef's kiss. A corrupt motherfucker. Yeah. I would pay money to hear those words come out of President Obama's mouth. Well, Michelle, all I can say is the former guy, he's a corrupt motherfucker. I don't know what I would turn that into my ringtone. I would change my ringtone to that. Anyway, there's some other juicy tidbits that came out in this book. What you guys might have seen last night or yesterday, Jill Biden was trending because apparently in the book there's an excerpt that says that Jill Biden said that Kamala Harris should go fuck herself after the debate in which, Kamala Harris kind of roughed Joe up a bit. She roughed him up. That's her job. It's a debate. It's not to be nice and, let me extol you. Let me just share how much I love you. No. Knives were out. Knives were out. Anyway, that's water under the bridge, I'm sure, because now Kamala Harris is the first woman vice president, and Dr. Jill Biden, is the first lady. They try to make it seem like there's some kind of rift between the two. There's no rift. These ladies are fine. They're handling their business. The Congress was also handling some business, and President Biden finally signed on the dotted line, signed his name on the bill that was basically, it was mostly a bipartisan bill to stop Asian hate. It was the COVID anti-Asian hate bill that was almost unanimous except for Josh Hawley. What the hell, Josh Hawley? What's wrong with you? You couldn't get a fist up for stopping Asian hate, but you could get a fist up for insurrection. The priorities are all screwed up. So at this bill signing, there was Mazie Hirono and Tammy Duckworth, and Vice President Kamala Harris was there too. And President Biden made a speech. I thought his most poignant words in this speech were silence is complicity. And that's powerful. And I'm glad that we have a president who makes this sort of thing a priority. And meanwhile, oh wait, let me just jump ahead. Yeah. Meanwhile, this was the vote yesterday for the January 6th commission. It passed through the Senate, and it didn't just pass through, but this was also a bipartisan vote, as 35 Republicans voted with Democrats to approve the January 6th commission. This is a very big deal. It's a very big deal. And we are unclear how it's going to fare in the Senate, but now that the House has voted in a bipartisan manner, it makes it really tough for Senate GOP members to vote against it, because, now, it's just made it very difficult. What's your reason for voting against finding out who the hell was trying to kill Mike Pence and Nancy Pelosi and everybody in the building? And Kevin McCarthy, you can stop that smiling, you can stop that laughing, because you will never be the Speaker of the House. You are a coward, you are a punk ass, you are a traitor, and you lost your caucus. You lost them. 35 of them said, nah, no thanks. No, I don't want to do that. And that's it for the quick hits of the day. Now, I'm going to jump right on into this segment that many people enjoy. I enjoy it very much because it's good feelings. And we like to call it a timeline, a cleanse. Timeline cleanse. Timeline cleanse. Wait. Ha ha ha. I could do the whole show with this voice. But I won't, because that would be silly. All right, and very difficult to maintain. This first one, by now you guys know, I really do enjoy cats and dogs and cats. We've got one of one and two of the other. If you had to ask me, my favorite is dogs. I think both cats and dogs are relatively intelligent. I think dogs kind of have the edge. I mean, it really irritates the hell out of me when you call your cat, they don't come. And either they're too stupid to know their own name, or they know their own name, but they couldn't care less that you are calling them. They're like, whatever, man, I come when I feel like it. Anyway, his first one is a dog who likes to play games. Connect 4. This video has been brought to you courtesy of our friend Jamie from Wisconsin. Jamie, thank you for sharing this. This dog, he's not playing by the rules, though. He's dropping the thing in. Yeah, he's already dropped a few things in, but he doesn't like how the game's going, so he's just going to knock the board over. That's poor form, Spot. Why? It's amazing that he's got the oral dexterity. I guess that's what you call it, oral dexterity. He picked up a rolling chip and then dropped it in. And then he's trying to block. No, I don't want you to. You know what? That's clever. Dogs. They're smart as hell. Also, not really smart as hell, though. Because if you were to take your dog off, we're afraid we can't take Rain off the leash and walk her because if a cat happens to zip out into the street, she will follow that cat and possibly get hit by a car. So they're smart, but they ain't that smart. Anyway, here's an example of how ingenious cats can be. Okay, and there's a cat who just jumped onto the handle of the door. So they're also quite nimble, too. And this cat is pulling the handle and using her feet to give herself leverage, and then cracks the door open for her buddies. What is even happening here? It's break and entering. It's feline breaking and entering. Uh-oh, what is happening with Cecile Kazemi? I'm seeing, oh no. Cecile lost her beautiful Aussie buddy yesterday. Oh, dog cancer. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Cecile. That's tough, but meanwhile, cat burglar. You know what? Marie from New Jersey, thank you. Cat burglar was right there under my nose. I'm trying to figure out a clever thing to write here, and it was right there, and I missed it. Thank you for catching that. It's a very clever clip. Cats really can be clever when they want to be. This next one, I found this one hilarious, and I found this one accidentally because Cindy C was trying to share a video with me of a dog that, got zapped by an electric fence, and a donkey was laughing his ass off at it. And I thought it was funny, but I wasn't sure how you guys would receive that because we are all animal lovers here. So it was a TikTok link Cindy had sent me. So I'm scrolling through TikTok. And I found this other thing, which I thought was hilarious. Have you ever been to the grocery store or any store when you make a purchase and the cashier says, would you like to donate, 5 cents or whatever to St. Jude's Hospital or some charity or whatever? And, sometimes I'm up for it. Other times I feel like, you know what? I gave already. I gave twice. Or I feel like, shit, I ain't got no money my damn self. No. or whatever. It's your prerogative. You have to give out of the kindness of your heart. And so we give when we can. But this is an excellent, I believe, excellent illustration of that scenario.
Hi. Just this. So your total is $2.98. Would you like to donate your 2 cents change to help starving blind children in Africa who are running for their lives and all they want is a place to sleep at night? No, thank you.
Ooh. Judging you.
Okay. Would you like a bag for 20 cents? Yes, I would.
Oh! No to the 2 cents for the starving Africans running for their lives, but yes to the 20-cent plastic bag.
Thank you.
One more time. This is beautiful.
Hi. Just this. So your total is $2.98. Would you like to donate your 2 cents change to help starving blind children in Africa who are running for their lives and all they want is a place to sleep at night? No, thank you.
No.
Okay. Would you like a bag for 20 cents? Yes, I would.
That's so great. The judging. Oh my God.
Thank you.
That is classic. I love that so much. Oh, that was fantastic. Okay, so what it is the time? The time is 6:18. Do I have time for the? Yes, I do. I'm gonna do a roll call Right now, lightning round, super fast, roll call. Roll call! Show me where you're coming from. Show me where you are at. Please do it now, and let's do it fast. I will try to do it fast too. Synth Fan from Florida. Kathleen Cross from Boothwyn, Pennsylvania. The Trump Reaper, wishing for rain in stupid, humid Long Beach, California. Gavin Rutherford from stormy Scotland. Stephanie from Spring Hill, Florida. Kathy Murphy stuck in CT. Oh, Chrissy from Connecticut. We got our Connecticut people back again. That's nice. Susie Brizuela. Sudi Q from Centennial, Colorado. AB from Detroit. Olivia in Seattle. Stella Baxter in Los Angeles, California. Janet Moquin. That's Janet from CT. Janet, you missed the other CT people. Get it together, people. Excuse me. Pandora from Boston. Jennifer Rayner. That's Jeff in her 68 from Wisconsin Rapids. Samantha from the Bronx. Let's see. Da, 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 da. I already called Cha-Cha, but I'm calling her again. Sandra here in Paramount, California. Lee leads like lightning. Jasmine Lacey from Eagle River, Alaska. Karen Purdy from Newton Falls, Ohio. Julianne Gauthier from the Central Coast of California. Cecile is sad in Grapevine, Texas, but she is here. Linda from Aiken South, Kakalaki. Nurse Mitch from Glen Burnie, Maryland. Monique from the DMV. And Lucy from Orange County, California. Asmila J. working in Houston. Jamie from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Just got back from 3.43-mile walk. Michelle in Berlin, CT, making stuffed peppers, making us hungry. Marty from Calgary. May Gray in SoCal. Sinsanity from Boxborough. Carol Schneider from Dundee, New York. All right. Sarah B. in Temple, Texas. Valerie in Staten Island. Tina G. in Albuquerque. Sydney C. from Lakewood, Washington. Petty Deb from Arizona. Fox Hill Dreams in Aiken South, Kakalaki. Ms. Nick in Stafford, Virginia. Punxsutawney Mo from warm Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, the weather capital of the world. Dave McNeil in Stockton, California. Sylvia Correa from Madeira Island. Marie from New Jersey. Misha in Long Beach, California. Patty from Gainesville, Texas. Natalie B. in Long Island. Wilbur McCarthy, that's our dog lover buddy in Georgia. Pasta D in 79-degree Georgia. The AC is on and she's freezing. Cha-Cha from Gig Harbor, Washington. Eddie G. in Delray Beach, Florida. M. Getz is peeing his pants. Lisa Hathaway saying hello from Cleveland, Ohio. Hilda Baiza in San Diego. San Diego. M. Guest from Chicago. Alaska. Cindy saying me, 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 me. Watcher Soko in Orange County, California. Solid Blue Sister in Southern California. Jim LaForge. This is a new one from Chester, Illinois, home of Popeye. He's Popeye the Sailor Man. Da, 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 da. Wilbur Martinez, Georgia. Farrah Renfro from Memphis, Tennessee. All right, guys, thank you very much for that super fast, that was fast roll call. Let's jump on into our first story. This is actually quite a big story of the day. This is what Gaza was looking like last night. Serious. I cannot imagine having to live like this with the sky lit up like, I don't know, dawn or dusk and in the middle of the night, it's supposed to be dark, and it's just lit up from fire. It's awful. But a ceasefire was declared today, or it was voted. It was voted and approved by the Israeli security cabinet, and it was also agreed to by Hamas as well. Now, needless to say, prior to this, there was actually a ramping up of hostilities, of violence. It was a major flare up. Rockets from Hamas and missiles from Israel. And this is going on while the rest of the world has been, denouncing this pretty much in unison. I mean, there's two sides to every conflict, and some people are on the side of Israel saying, they have a right to defend themselves. And the people on the other side are saying, well, if their idea of defending themselves is indiscriminately firing missiles into heavily populated civilian areas in order to kill like this many people, but they end up killing this many because they're targeting Hamas, but Hamas has somehow embedded themselves in civilian populations. You see why this is a complicated thing, because so Israel's goal with their what they call targeted strikes was to disable Hamas's ability to launch rocket attacks at Israel. And it is right. It is 100% right. It is true that Israel has the right to defend themselves. And basically, what people are complaining about is the way they are defending themselves. It looks more like offensive as opposed to defensive. It seems like that. It seems like a disproportionate response because Hamas has like this many rockets, and like the damage, the give and take of damage. Hamas. I shouldn't say Hamas, but Palestinians are getting the raw end of the deal. The raw end of the deal. The Palestinians. Hamas is a little tiny group that they're not the leaders of the Palestinians, but they consider themselves the military arm of Palestinians. I don't think Palestinians elected them. I could be wrong. I need to educate myself. But in any case, Israel going after Hamas, they could have figured out a better way to do that without killing so many children. It's the killing of children is what caused the international community to raise up in unison and denounce it. The UN denounced it, and yesterday, President Biden suggested an immediate de-escalation that was about as far as he was willing to go without using the words ceasefire. Ceasefire. He didn't use those words, ceasefire, at least publicly. Perhaps he did so in private. And I did call a few days ago. I said, if not by Wednesday, by Thursday, this shit will be done. And that was based on my friend telling me over the phone, he's got contacts in Israel. He said, this thing is not going to even be happening by next Sunday. So what happens now? What happens now is that Israel has already made an assessment, and they determined that they were able to strike enough Hamas targets to satisfy their goal of disabling their military capability. But what's next needs to be a diplomatic solution, because this violence, it's not working. The only thing that worked in this conflict had nothing to do with the Israeli government or Hamas. It had everything to do with social media and the news media coming together, reporting what they see, and causing the entire world to raise up and say, yo, stop. So yeah, I don't know how many people are homeless now. Somebody was just asking me How many? Oh, Misha Oliver is asking how many are homeless. I don't know. I don't have that figure. But it's a tragic situation, and you have two sides. Okay, here's the deal: you have two sides that are both harmed. Both have been historically harmed. Israelis have been harmed. Oh, Jews have been harmed throughout history, and the Palestinians have been harmed. They have been wronged. Both sides have that in common, actually. And we can't get it, if we're going to resolve this, we can't get into who started it, who shot first, who pushed who out. Forget about that. Let's deal with like what's right now, because if you attempt to solve this by relitigating what has already happened, we're not going to solve anything. We have to move forward, and the only way to move forward is to agree that we have to live together. The only absolute solution is complete devastation. That's it. If you want military means to be the solution, then you're ensuring the total destruction of each other. And that doesn't work. So it's got to be a diplomatic solution. You got to get these people in the room together and decide what you can live with. And in order for this thing to work, both parties have to decide, the Israelis and the Palestinians have to decide what they can live with, and they both have to sacrifice something that they want in a solution. Both sides. Israel has to feel pain from this, and Palestinians have to feel pain from this. So both sides come away from this not feeling like they got over on the other one, but both feeling like, fine. And yes, like a two-party solution, but inside that two-party solution, there's a whole lot of complexity there, and they got to break it down and make it simple. They got to cut through that complexity and deal with the issue of settlements. Maybe Israel forces a percentage of their people to leave those settlements. But not all of them. The Palestinians maybe want all of them to leave. Israel, so if only some Israelis remain in their settlements, then both sides are kind of pissed about that. But that works. They gotta start somewhere. Start with that. Shit, I'm nobody. I'm no genius. I barely can wrap my brain around this whole concept of this Middle East conflict. But you can't live like this. This woman's got a great big hole in her living room. This is no way to live. And this is how Palestinians are living now. It's got to change. And that's what I have to say about that. This next one is no less easy to deal with, but it's got to be discussed. Ronald Greene. This was something that happened 2 years ago. It was, am I buffering? Okay, I think I'm moving now. I thought I was buffering. I think I was frozen for a minute there. 2 years ago, May 10th, 2019, Ronald Greene was apparently involved in a high-speed car chase with police that ended in his death. Now, the police, they explained to the family that Ronald Greene was killed in the crash. But a very astute doctor who was paying attention found some taser marks in his back. Now, he couldn't have been tased if he was already dead from the crash. Now, why are you tasing him? So there's video. There's body cam video of this. And my first learning about this was last night during Rachel Maddow. And I was stunned by this. I was stunned And this is a guy, we've all seen some horrible shit. The George Floyd 9 minutes was hard enough to deal with. This surpassed that. This surpassed, in my opinion, Rodney King. And why did it surpass the horribleness of, Misha Oliver says the prongs were still hanging out of his back. Why did this surpass the horribleness of George Floyd and Rodney King? Because we are in the aftermath of Rodney King and George Floyd. This guy was in their custody. Ronald Greene was in their custody, and he was trying to appeal to their humanity. So we didn't just have video. We didn't just have video of him being tased. Oh, shit. And I should have said trigger warning. First of all, trigger warning. So sorry. I didn't say that. But I'm not showing the video of it because it is too difficult to watch. And I don't have audio of it either. I do have pictures, however. So if you can't stand the pictures, look away. But I'm asking you to not look away. Do not look away. Embed these images and let those sounds of him begging and pleading for his life, embed those in your brain. Because if you look away, it doesn't make the problem go away. It doesn't. But if your heart feels that, if your heart feels that pain and that anguish and that powerlessness, that's important. And we need that. We need that as fuel to make things change. I'm going to tell you what he said. He said, "I'm sorry. I'm scared. Officer, I'm scared. I'm your brother. I'm scared." This was while he was being tased, beaten, kicked, and even dragged. And the only reason we found out about this video, we wouldn't even found out about it. There was a reporter who was, on this story, was on this case and did some digging and was very persistent with their request for information. I think it's FOIA, Freedom of Information. Thank you, AB, says this was a lynching. This is exactly what it was, a modern day lynching. One cop said, "I've got blood all over me. I hope this guy ain't got fucking AIDS." That was his concern. That they were beating him so bad, he was bleeding all over the place, and he just hoped that he didn't get AIDS from the blood from the injuries they caused. They spent 9 minutes, during which you can hear Ronald Greene moaning in the background. They spent 9 minutes wiping themselves down with hand sanitizer to remove the blood from themselves. And you know what makes this worse? None of these cops was held accountable for it. None of them. One cop had a 50-hour suspension. 50-hour suspension. 50 hours. Another one was placed on administrative leave for a different incident. Had nothing to do with the modern day lynching of this man. And another one who bragged about, quote unquote, beating the ever living shit out of Ronald Greene. He ironically died in a car crash. He actually died, the cop who bragged about beating the ever living shit out of Ronald Greene. They keep saying there's a few bad apples, but to me, it looks like the whole forest is fucked. The whole entire forest is fucked. Because I saw somebody write this the other day. They said, if you have 100 cops, right, but 5 of those 100 cops are bad cops, but the 95 other cops don't say anything about those 5 cops, then you have 100 bad cops. That whole tree is rotten. And the more I see incidents like this, the harder it is for me to tell people to stop the defund the police chants. It's hard now. It's really hard for me. I see this over and over and over, and I don't see any solutions being offered. Nothing. Nothing. Just a constipated Congress that, it just keeps bumping up against each other and really not really accomplishing anything. The whole system is corrupt. The whole system. For shit like this to be allowed to happen, and the only reason we find out is because of one pesky reporter continued to dig, and then found out, and then got the video unearthed. If not for that reporter, I'm not even talking about this today. I didn't even know anything about it. Sandra says, one bad apple contaminates the whole barrel. Lee Saunders says, it's systemic. They're trained to think that way. Think about that. I mean, what I saw was inhuman, was completely devoid of humanity. You get a job, and your job is supposed to be to serve and protect. Misha Oliver pointing out Rachel couldn't fight back the tears. I was watching that. I told wifey, we were both watching this, both of us, like our mouths open, like, she can barely hold it back. Scribble My Dibble says, can you imagine all the stories that have not been told? I can only imagine. Yeah. I bet you for every one video like this, there's 100 other incidents that were not captured on camera, or were captured on camera, just buried. They didn't have that reporter getting after them. It's disgusting. Something has to be done about this. Moving right along. For some reason, my video keeps freezing. Moving right along. Earlier I said, when I say bad governor, do you say Ron DeSantis? It is important for us to pay attention to all elections, not just the major ones, not just the every 4-year presidential elections, but the midterms as well. And I say that because sometimes in those midterm elections, we are voting for governor. And if you don't vote, then you don't get to keep shitheads like Ron DeSantis out of office. And right now, more than ever, it never really dawned on me. Seriously, I'm 53 years old. It never really dawned on me how important midterm elections are, and elections for the governor never really dawned on me how important those are until right now. Because what I'm seeing in the news is a daily assault by governors. Governors have a ton of power. They are executives. They are chief executives of the states that they govern. They are almost as powerful as a president. They're like the president of their states. They sign laws that can either improve or screw up people's lives. Like Ron DeSantis, for instance. Greg Abbott, just yesterday, Greg Abbott signed a law that bans abortions after 6 weeks. Shit, after 6 weeks, most women don't even know that they're pregnant. Don't even know. 6 weeks later, makes it illegal to get an abortion. Nobody wants an abortion. Nobody's like, oh, I can't wait to get an abortion. It's a horrible, tough decision to have to make. It's heavy. But sometimes people have to make it to that difficult decision. And it's the woman's right to make that decision, nobody else. Not her mother, not her father, not her grandmother, not her sister or brother, not her husband, not even the husband. The husband has to be there supportive either way. Either way. Honey, what do you want to do? That's it. That's it. That's the extent of a man's input into that decision. What do you want to do? I support you, whatever you want to do. I'm here. This is us. That's it. It's not Greg Abbott's decision. It's not Congress's or the Supreme Court's decision. But ultimately, a lot of these bullshit laws that governors are putting up, they're putting them up because they know they will easily be challenged. But ultimately, when they get challenged, they will get challenged and go up to the Supreme Court, where there is a 6-3 majority, Republican right-wing majority in the Supreme Court. And that's where it's game over. That's where it's game over. So, it made me so furious when, before the primaries were over, I posted an article about, what happens if Ruth Bader Ginsburg dies? And everybody's like, how dare you say that? She's eternal. She will never die. She will live. I hated to be right, but I was right. What happens? And unfortunately, she just didn't last until the election, until, Joe Biden won. And until, Republicans rushed Amy Coney Barrett through, and that's pretty much, it's a 6-3, it's game over. Kristi Noem is another one. She's horrendous. She's horrendous. She's killing South Dakota residents with her own stupidity. You have governors who are creating mandates or laws they're basically banning all COVID-19 mask restrictions, which is ludicrous. You're going to end up killing a whole lot of people who are too stupid to know that your decisions are bad. Brian Kemp from Georgia is another horrible one. Horrible. He's a cheater. He cheated his way into office. Yeah. Oh, AB says the new Sarah Palin's. Was she governor of Alaska? It's crazy. Somebody as stupid as Sarah Palin ascended to the governorship. That is just mind-boggling. Today, COVID Kim was trending on Twitter because in Iowa, she's also banning all mask mandates throughout the state of Iowa. It's crazy, right? So these are the same people that don't care about a woman's right to choose what is right for her body, but they want to legislate and force people to not wear masks if they choose to. It's insane. Oh, yeah, California had Reagan and Arnold. It's the Trump Reapers' contribution to this bad governor thing. But, often a bad governor is, governors of states, they're supposed to be less partisan, because they're the governor of a state that has both Republicans and Democrats. sometimes you have like a major Republican population in a state, and that makes it easier for a Republican governor to comfortably do stupid shit, right? But what happens when you have a state like New York? New York, New York City has a lot of Democrats, but New York State as a whole has a lot of Republicans. Like upstate New York, that's like that's red. That's Republican territory. That's Trump world. Yeah? So Governor Cuomo, his honeymoon, I think, is over. He was enjoying a nice little honeymoon with the. It's funny, you should mention, Tracy M is mentioning Larry Hogan, a Republican. I got him in here too, Tracy. Very astute of you. Um, so Governor Cuomo was enjoying a nice little honeymoon period during COVID because it seemed like he was the only, capable leader we had in the country at the time. And then it came out that he was hiding, or yeah, that he was hiding actual COVID data as it related to nursing homes. And then we found out about allegations of harassment and abuse. Hoy. So the jury's still out on Governor Cuomo. If his only competition is Andrew Giuliani, he might survive that. But I think he's going to have some major competition from the left as well. This might be his last term as governor. Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom has now got competition from what the hell is her name? Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner, and a whole bunch of other wackadoos, in an upcoming recall election. He might survive that also because all I'm seeing are a lot of wackadoo candidates in California. But, California is about the bluest state we have, the most reliably Democratic state, and he is in danger of being recalled. So whether or not somebody is a bad governor does not necessarily correlate to what party they're in, but just how their residents see them. And that brings me to Larry Hogan, who is the Republican governor of Maryland. And he's actually pretty popular and pretty well liked. And he is kind of seems to be governing with a level, steady political hand. And that's smart. That's very smart. He could probably win. He could probably win with both Republican and Democrat votes. Democrats will be pragmatic, I think, if we have a governor who, is Republican, but they're governing as the governor of Democrats and Republicans. If you're doing a good job, we'll reelect you. Sure thing. Here's a guy I didn't even know about. He's the governor of Massachusetts, Charlie Baker. And apparently, this guy, at least as recently as 2019, was the the governor with the highest approval rating. His approval rating was like 73% in Massachusetts. 73%. And he's Republican. Yeah. So then that brings me to Ralph Northam, who is a Democratic governor. But this guy, he suffered a great big hit when it was learned that he had the unfortunate lack of common sense or decency to allow himself to be photographed in blackface. That's not good. And you know what? I'll give some people some leeway. If you did your shit in the 80s or the early 90s, that's your cutoff right there. After the early 90s, you're doing shit like this, you got problems. Yeah. maybe even the late 90s. I'll say even the late 90s, people were still, we weren't woke at that point yet. We weren't hypersensitive to, you know, racial sensitivity issues. Yes, with the Klansman in the pic. Yeah. That was him in blackface. So, why give him a pass at all? Because like in this instance, I don't know. Uh, he was going to a costume party, and perhaps at the time, he had a limited life experience, and everybody makes some dumb decisions at one point that aren't necessarily rooted in hatred. You know, we have very few allies as it is. We do. We have very few allies, and nobody's perfect. Nobody is perfect. If they were to do it now, no pass. But I'm saying if they did it 25 years ago when they didn't know that it was wrong to do and they were just trying to do something funny, I'm giving them a pass. Look, I watch old TV shows all the time. If I was to cancel everybody who said some shit, who said the word homo or faggot back in the 80s or the 70s, am I going to cancel them? Everybody was talking like that back then. If I were to cancel everybody, I wouldn't have any TV shows or movies to watch. I wouldn't. It's simple as that. It's simple. But you can tell where hatred is coming from. You can tell. You can tell. We have to pick and choose these battles. Just my opinion. If you don't want to give them, leeway, then that's up to you. But it is what it is. Marie says they watched Young Frankenstein the other day. Yeah, there's a whole lot of shit in these old movies that when you watched it 30 years ago, that shit was funny as hell. And then when you watch it today, you're like, oh shit, I was laughing at that? Oh. you know? Um, Mel Brooks, who did Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles. Is my hour up? It's fine. I don't care. The show usually goes about an hour 20. Mel Brooks did Blazing Saddles, which was hilarious. I rewatched it about a month or two ago. Still funny, but there were a lot of lines in there that was like, that would be problematic today. It would be problematic. Do I think Mel Brooks is a racist? Hell no. You see what I mean? That's my point. That's my point. Thank you, Jennifer. All right, so here's our new segment. It is called. Wait. Let's see. Rising Stars.
Hooray!
Wait. Rising Stars. And today's Rising Star, it is replacing, for today, just for today, I reserve the right to go back to you, Raggedy Bish, at any moment. Today's Rising Star is none other than Tim Ryan. And if you don't know who Tim Ryan is, you can be forgiven because he's not a household name. But he soon will be. That's why he's a rising star, you see? And if you happen to have been watching his masterful performance in front of the House of Representatives yesterday, you may have become a fan of this man, Tim Ryan. Wait, where's his... Oh, did I not put his video in here? Damn it, I knew I always forget something. Let's see. Ba-da-da-da-da. I'm just gonna add it now because I am cool like that. Rising Star. This one. Boom. Boom.
To the other 90% of our friends on the other side of the aisle, holy cow. Incoherence. No idea what you're talking about. Benghazi, you guys chased the former Secretary of State all over the country, spent millions of dollars. We have people scaling the Capitol, hitting the Capitol Police with lead pipes across the head, and we can't get bipartisanship.
Say it.
What else has to happen in this country?
Say it.
Cops. This is a slap in the face to every rank and file cop in the United States. If we're going to take on China, if we're going to rebuild the country, if we're going to reverse climate change, we need two political parties in this country that are both living in reality, and you ain't one of them. To the other 90%.
Say that shit with your chest, Tim. Say it with your chest. God damn it. Every time you look at a different picture of Tim Ryan, that man looks like he is lighting the air on fire with his words. Tim Ryan, that's what we need more of it. Oh, except this part, this picture here, he looks like he's getting ready to light you up. He's not ready yet. He's digging into his pocket. He's going to light you up. That's what we need in this party now. We need some people with fire and passion, fire and brimstone. You know, because the other side, that party, it's not even a party anymore, the Republicans. He is absolutely right. They were up in arms about Benghazi. About Benghazi, 4 people tragically were killed, okay? But they weren't killed by other Americans. That's the difference. They weren't killed here in America. They weren't killed in our own U.S. Capitol by Americans who were incited by their president. And the fact that so many Republicans are still trying to say either this wasn't an insurrection or it was just, it's like a regular tour. It was just like a tour, except for the fact that people were beating police over the head with fire extinguishers and crushing their heads in revolving doors. What kind of tour features that? So, Tim Ryan, I've seen him speak several times before. I am looking forward to his next speech. And this man is running to replace Rob Portman in Ohio. Rob Portman is no longer running he's not running for re-election. So Tim Ryan should be a shoo-in for that. But he's going to need some support. And we are going to be promoting him and attacking whoever his opponent is. Oh, yes, that's Jennifer Rayner. Thank you. They also want to blame January 6th on Antifa and Black Lives Matter. Well, if you guys are so sure that BLM and Antifa had something to do with January 6th, then approve the commission. Let's get into it. Yeah. Let's look into it. Let's find that Antifa. But we can't find the Antifa and the BLM unless we have the commission. Approve the commission. And Tim Ryan, more of that fire, please, on a platter. I likes it. I likes it a lot. Yeah. Rising star. Yeah. All right. Now let's see. It is that time, ladies and gentlemen, for the littlest president. The littlest president is available on BrooklynDadDefiant.com. And if you go to BrooklynDadDefiant.com, you can get a beautiful, wonderful autographed signature. Look how swooshy it is. We love it so much. And it says, "We won." The littlest president is starring. This is the speed round, guys. Buckle up. Starring President Obama, Hillary Rodham Clinton, Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Joseph R. Biden, and the R stands for ready to kick that ass, Vladimir Putin, holding the puppet strings on Spanky McDumbass, complicit Barbie, Rudy Giuliani, Gummy McJuicebox, Kellyanne Conjob, Stephen the Snake Miller, and Mitch McTurtle McConnell. Boom. And now, wait. And now it's time for our favorite page because this is Spanky McDumbass. Spanky McDumbass is sad. He used to be rich. He used to be a businessman. He used to be a TV star. He used to have a Twitter account. He used to be the littlest president. But now Spanky McDumbass is in jail. How did he get here? Let's go back. Wow. It feels good to say it so fast. I don't even have to think about the words. I just say them. And today's page is this. One day, America elected a great man as president. His name was Our Rock No Drama. He was intelligent, charismatic, dignified, handsome, honorable, an inspirational speaker, and a family man. And he was America's first black president. He was everything that Spanky wasn't. Many people loved and admired him. Spanky hated him. Look how little and petty he is. If no other page really encapsulated the pettiness, the tininess, the essence of Spanky McDumbass, it is this page here, with President Obama towering over him. Now we know in real life President Obama did not physically tower over Spanky McDumbass, but he towered over him with his gravitas, with his self. Say it with your chest. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's about that. What questions do you have for Brooklyn Dad? Let's see. M. Getz wants to know, why aren't the Republicans outraged? It just proves every day that they care more about their seats in Congress than they do about the American people, period. I'll tell you why Republicans aren't outraged, M. Getz. Republicans are in survival mode right now. They are terrified. They're not in outrage. They're terrified. They're terrified that the January 6th Commission will be used as a cudgel, as a weapon to batter them into historic losses in 2022. If it is unearthed, if it's learned that many House of Representative members were complicit in the January 6th attack, they could lose a whole lot of seats. It would be a bloodbath. That's why they are opposed to it. That's why they are not outraged. Hey! Solid Blue Sister says, BDD, please take this in the context I'm saying it. Okay, I'm taking the context. Yeah. By not showing the green tape is being complicit with the cover-up. Mamie Till wanted the world to see Emmett for a reason. Let the world know. Well, I see your point, Solid Blue Sister. Fortunately, or maybe unfortunately, I have a little tiny show. It's a little tiny show. It's right now, looks like there's only 55 of us here, not including myself, which makes 56. I see your point. And yeah, I agree that those images need to be seen. That's why I did show screenshots of it. It's just a personal choice. I prefer not to show that video here. Fortunately, and really, look, I've watched 12 Years a Slave, and the only time I turned around was that part when that woman was being savagely beaten. I had to turn away. Oh, that was brutal. But yeah, I wholeheartedly believe in not turning away. And it's difficult. And right now, it's raw for me. I could barely watch last night. Yeah. But yeah, you know what? I'll think about it. It's just if it's on TV, if it's on the internet, do I need to put it here too? Also, ah, this is the other reason. This is the other reason. YouTube is very particular with some of the things that they will let you put on your channel. And with the amount of trolls that I have watching this show and trying to screw up my show, they could report this episode as having, violent or sensitive images, and then YouTube shuts down the show or possibly shuts down the channel. I don't want to take that risk. That's the other reason. Multi-layered reasoning I have. Pasta D wants to know, how do I stop a dear friend from advancing in a cult? Be honest and straight up with them, and possibly get one or two other people to, agree with you to come along and speak. Don't yell at them. Don't yell at them, because they will take that as an attack. They'll take it personally and say, look, and show them actual articles, news articles that can inform them, that will help your argument. Give them data. Don't just give it to them from the gut. Show them, things, from reputable sources, and let them decide for themselves. Synthfan wants to know, how's the second book going? It's not going well at all. I wrote about 24 pages of this thing, and then I got really busy, mostly, believe it or not, with the show. It takes me too long to put this together. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about the show. I like the show. I like how it looks. I like how we're able to interact, and how I'm able to bring you different segments. But it does take up a good, portion of my day. So, I'm still working on it, but just I'm pushing it back, way back. Valerie wants to know, did you and wifey start a vegetable garden? And yes, the answer is yes, we did last year. Last year we built it, and it is thriving, actually thriving right now. Wifey's got some garlic, she's got parsley, she's got tomatoes, cucumbers, those peas in the, what's that called? It's not string beans. Peas in the pods. I forget what those are called. Green peas, whatever. Watermelon, blueberries. What the hell else? There's like a whole lot of stuff in there. I can't even remember. But yeah, it's thriving. I will actually at some point record myself going out to the garden to show you how fantastical it looks now. Yeah. All right, guys, that is all the time I have. Thank you for another wonderful episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad. And if you got to go out tonight, please remember, even if you're vaccinated, remember to wear your masks, wear your gloves, keep your social distance 6 feet or better, and have a lovely, relaxing evening. It's funny. It just occurred to me, what happens when this pandemic is over? The 6 feet of distance. What am I going to say? Keep your distance 3 feet or better? 2 feet? Don't worry about the social distance? I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you guys here tomorrow, same time, same place. I love you all. Peace. Uh. Boom. Hey! Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Cindy C with the reminder to push that like button. Please smash it. Smash it. Wilbur McCarthy with a reminder to remember to Benghazi the hell out of Republicans about January 6th. Yes. Agree. That's a good, Wilbur says, avoid the maggots. That's good. Hey! That's right. Petty Deb is saying they continued to throw it in our face. Yeah, and at the end of the day, the Benghazi, it was nothing. It was nothing. Hey! I did not see a roll call typo, Lisa. I think you're good. Survival is in our DNA. I like it. I like it. Yeah. All right, you guys. I don't know what happened to half of our audience all of a sudden, but thank you all for hanging in there with me. I will see you guys tomorrow. And now it's time for You